Good morning, y'all. Alright, this is my next video. You might have seen my previous video, the 2006 Ford F-250, the cab mounts. So today I'm working on a 2011 Toyota 4RUNNER, and the headlights, as you can see, they're pretty bad. I have sanded that with 1200 grit paper just a minute ago, and you can see these are pretty bad and they're yellowed on top. And I'm going to be sanding them with 1200 grit wet or dry paper, and that's what I've just done on that. And I'm getting ready to sand it again with 2000 grit wet or dry. So I'm going to start doing that for a minute. Let me sit you down right there. And you're going to go in all in one direction. And soapy water is better than anything, better than just water. So try to do it all in one direction. You can see this 2000 grit is kind of polishing it up a little bit more than the 1200 grit, and it will look awesome after I get through with them. This is my wife's car, so I want to make it look good for her. The car is in excellent shape. It's just these headlights really get faded out. They're already a lot clearer once I get the soap and the sand dust off of it. But it'll polish up real good. Let me dry these headlights off. They will fog back up after you dry them off, but that'll all come out once I start buffing them. Okay, I'm putting a little bit of polishing compound on it. It's 3M. What I always do is I just rub it in like that a little bit, keep it from slinging it everywhere when I start buffing it. looks a little better. It'll get better and better, especially when I put the UV clear sealer on it. Get some of this off here and it'll look a lot better too. As you can see up here on top where it was really yellow on the other one over there, you can see the yellow one over here. It's really yellow, so you can see the big difference. It doesn't hurt the paint if you get the buffer on the paint, as long as you know what you're doing and you don't stay on it too long, and it'll be fine. But you can see that's a lot better than that one over there. Let me I'll do that one here in a few minutes. We'll put some more on here. This is just a little bit finer compound. It's also 3M. I just had it in this water bottle. See what that looks like. It's really looking brilliant. I mean, the shine is really coming through. You can use a terry cloth too. This is just a shop towel rag, disposable. They work just fine. You're getting off the sanding debris and the polishing compound. You can see that's a lot better than what we have before. As you can see the difference. It may not show up on camera as good, but you know, it does have a lot of fogging and a lot of yellow tint all up in here. It's really fogged up. But than this one, and I'm not finished with it yet, because I will be putting on some spray, and it's the Maguire spray. It's a headlight coating. It's got UV protection, and it lasts up for a year, and it really brings out the gloss in the headlights, and it keeps you from having to do this, you know, every 3 or 4 or 6 months. It'll last you at least a year. And these headlights, if you've ever priced them, they're very expensive, and if you can make them look this good and not have to buy new ones, that's what I would recommend. And I'll be doing the next one, and you know, just a lot of elbow grease, and using the dual action sander or buffer, and just getting it real, cut that clear out, cut all the dingy out of the clear. I got it all taped off now, and I'm going to use this product here, the headlight coating from Maguire's. I've used it before. It gives it a real deep, clear, and nice finish. It'll look like it's going to go on and be, but it flows out real well. Flows out really nice and clean, clear. So we'll just overlap it like 50%, and we'll start at the top and go down. Okay, that's pretty good there. You can see it really brightened it up a lot. It's like throwing water on it, and it will dry. It'll flow out smooth. And that's all the coats we'll put on it now. And if it, put this over here so the wind don't flip this paper back on top of it. And this down here. Always make sure your paper don't flip up if it's windy, so it'll stick right to the headlight. So that's the driver's side complete. I'll finish the other one. I'll start sanding and finish this one up, and I'll show you the finished results here in just a little bit. Thanks. So I'm starting to wet sand this side here now while the other side's drying. I want to go ahead and do it. It's getting later in the evening, and I may end up doing this one here in the morning. I may finish it up here in just a little bit. Remember, this water's got soap in it too, because the soap just helps it clean all the other grime and stuff off of it, and it helps the sandpaper slide through and smooth, a lot smoother than just water. So do the same method when you're buffing out paint. You can use wet or dry paper with soap, and it gives you a much better product when you're through with it. And here we just draw off all the water, all the soap. So that looks pretty good there. Like I said, it dries to a haze like that until you buff it. So, all right, and we'll buff it. Let that finish drying up, and we'll buff it next. The other side's already dry, so there's no contamination going to get in the other clear that I put on there. So just got to give it time to dry, and then you're okay. So I'll wipe this off, and then I'll put another coat or another polishing. You can see this thing is already starting to look shine up pretty good. I think my wife's happy with it already. So she's the one behind the camera. This is also 3M fine polishing compound. Down. Wipe this off. As you can see, it looks really good. And the reason we don't just leave it like this is because in 3 to 6 months you'd have to be doing it again, because the UV rays will just play havoc on this plastic here, and it will just fade it out again. So that's the reason we put the Meguiar's clear coat finish on it, and it's good for a year, and I've had it last longer than a year. So I tell you, I see a lot of people on YouTube using all kind of household products. I don't recommend it. I recommend sanding it with 1200 grit and then going to 2000 grit, and you can see it is crystal clear. And you try to use WD-40, PAM, all kind of bug spray people do. All that does is makes it wet for momentarily for a short period of time, and then it just comes right back. So if you want something to last, this is the method you should use. And if I was doing anybody else's car, I've done other people's cars, and pretty satisfied customers. So anyway, so let me get some soap on here, wipe this off, get some soapy water, and then I'll be ready to shoot the clear. Let it dry up a little bit. Dry it up real good, make sure there's no water. And then of course you'll have to mask it all off. And the reason I mask it off is because this Meguiar's clear coat finish here, it is a clear coat. It's not like the K2 clear that you spray over automotive paint. It's close, but it's not, but it will leave an overspray on your car. But you can get it off with alcohol or lacquer thinner, either way. It's not going to hurt the paint. It's just going to leave you a film wherever you do it. So it's best to tape off as much as you can so it doesn't get on your paint. If it does, it does come off real easy. Okay. Now a lot of people would be satisfied with that, including my wife, but I know it won't last long if I don't put the clear coat on it. So you can see the difference in the headlights. That one's just a little bit glossier, and but they're both pretty clear. Okay, we're about to spray this passenger headlight now. The Meguiar's headlight clear coat. Remember we're going to do 2 passes, overlapping 50%. Okay. Looks like it's got it. So I spent maybe an hour doing all of it, sanding it, prepping it, buffing it, and then clear coating it for about an hour. And these headlights here are probably $400 or $500 a piece new. And I see a lot of them around town. I see a lot of headlights that are yellowed, faded out, and as you can see, it's easy to do. Doesn't take much effort. Just a little bit of elbow grease and your sander or your buffer, and you're clear.